got to earn your way in. And that's better, according to Sankey. More competitive. More honest to the cause. Which is not good news for the ACC, the Big Ten, or the Big 12, or the Pac-12. Not good news. Not good news for the big schools in the Group of Five either. Not good news for the Boise States. Not good news for the San Diego States. Not good news for anybody who's not associated with the big Power Five programs, or in this case, just specifically the SEC or to the Big Ten. Because then there's no clear way to make a playoff. And some will say, well, all those other conferences made their beds. Now they got to lie in it. They didn't go for the 12-team playoff last year, and now they're going to get screwed because of it. Perhaps. But this is what happens when one team or one league or one business monopolizes the power. Happens in American corporate structure all of the time. Whoever becomes the most powerful starts pushing everybody else farther down, and the wealth gap, as they say, gets wider and wider, and they insist, well, anybody could earn their way in. You just need to be worthy of it, which is a message that billionaires sell us as the average Joes every single day. Well, you could be a billionaire too if only you worked as hard as I did, without basically saying, well, yeah, but Daddy gave you an oil rig. Daddy gave you a multi-million-dollar company already, or you were kind of given or bestowed upon. And sure, some people did earn that, and perhaps the SEC in some ways did, but let's face it. Does Mississippi State or Vanderbilt or Indiana or Rutgers just happen to have earned their way into a better spread getting into a college football playoff? Of course not. It's all such silliness. It's just who you're aligned with due to 100 years of how college football has worked. So anyway, this is not good news for the other three conferences. It's not good news for the Group of Five, but it is where we are going. We all have to, of course, just absorb and digest what college football is. And we had Gary Danielson on the show yesterday, and he had such an interesting quote. Gary, of course, does commentary for CBS Sports SEC broadcasts. And, you know, he had a very poignant quote. And he said, along the lines of what we're kind of talking about here, who's in charge? And his quote was, I don't know who's in charge. I don't know if the people who think they're in charge are actually in charge. That's a pretty big meatball. And that's kind of what's happening. Who's collecting the power? Who's calling the shots? Guys like Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, who will say, yeah, that ACC champ, who knows? You have to earn your way in, and we'll stack the box with the people that we know will lean SEC or lean Big Ten, because, of course, we all know that we're probably most worthy.